Welcome, everybody. My name is Brian Gleason. I'm the Global CEO of Xaxis. Welcome to the second Programmatic 401. We hosted our first back in June, and a lot of questions were, what is a 401? Why not a 101? When you see some of the numbers that we go through today, you'll see that just the size of Programmatic, we're past the stage of introduction. While today won't be too far advanced, it's not going to be all about acronyms. It's going to be about one central core idea: bringing audiences and connecting them with brands. We've got a fantastic event. Anytime you can open with Irwin and close with Sir Martin, it's a pretty good day, so thank you for the participation. But the 401, thank you for our sponsors as well. For Videology and Dun & Bradstreet making this possible, we appreciate it. We're also going to be at the end of it, for those of you who can stay around, AppNexus will be hosting a happy hour as well. But there's no questioning that our world is changing. It's already here. This phone, for those of you who haven't seen it, everybody take a look at it. It's a phone of a 13-year-old girl. What's missing from it? Shout it out if you see. Exactly, the phone. Having a 14-year-old daughter, I can tell you, I can't understand that, why she never does one of two things. One is she never talks on the phone. It's text everybody, right? The world's already changed. The second thing is she prefers to watch, along with my son, TV on that phone when the big screen's behind. So as marketers, we know that this change is happening, and we know that we have to be able to change and adapt to be able to compete with it. If we look at some of the numbers for growth, and we've all seen this, and I'm always hesitant to put these numbers in when my bosses are in the room because it shows what a year we're going to have next year, but from a programmatic standpoint, the numbers are staggering, whether it be the 34% growth in digital, the 42% growth in US programmatic, or the overall staggering number of $22 billion of programmatic alone. I think we all realize that programmatic is past the 101 stage and it's to the 401 stage, and that's what today is all about. It's not a pitch, it's not a WPP or a Xaxis discussion. We've brought the best brands from around the industry to come in and speak to three of the biggest topics that we think are really at the top of the forefront. We'll open up with what is data fusion. We'll move on to universal ID and what it actually means. And we'll finish with addressable TV, is it real? So hopefully, if you think about those three things, they're all questions that you're looking to as well. By 2025, 50% of adults under the age of 32 will not pay for TV. Whether or not you believe that number, the trend is there. We had an impromptu session the other day where I had 30 of our new employees came in and simply went through the question, how do you consume media? How do you look at it? What devices are you using? And we went through it, and most of them, as you wouldn't be surprised, were they use their iPhone. Most of their apps are social media. But when you got down to it, I said, how much TV do you watch? And all of them said, I watch 4 to 6 hours. I watch a great deal of TV. And then I said, how many of you pay for, have a cable bill? 1 out of 30, right? So that's a challenge that we have to be able to deal with. Again, it was a small subset, but we have to think about how we deal with that. Top challenges of B2B CMOs in 2016. It's funny. Customers, data, and content, I guess those are three big ones to be able to deal with, right? But that's what we're here to be able to talk about. If you think about programmatic at its core, we're past that, right? We understand that programmatic is the automation. What's really interesting is the data fusion, right? So what is it that as brands that I could do with my data? How do I take that out to the market, and how do I make it truly unique? And how do I actually use that data to see if it's driving my customer value? That's the big question that we're trying to get to.